Hey guys, and this is part 2 of how to create a polymer clay minion from Despicable Me 2. Starting from where we left off last time, we're going to take our conditioned black clay and roll it into a thin strip. Then you want to cut off 4 pieces and roll them into little balls. These are going to be his buttons. So flatten them a little bit and make sure they're a circle. And then we're going to place them onto each one of his little overall pieces where they attach. And make sure they're secure. So do those for the 2 back ones, and then also for the 2 in the front. So this is what you should have so far. So let's move him to the side and roll out some more black clay. You want it to be about this thick. This is going to be the band that goes around his head for his goggles. So cut out a thin strip, like this, and we're going to put it to the side for now. Now we're going to take our silver clay to make his goggle. So condition your silver clay, and then roll it into a log. Cut off the end, and we're going to save that for later. And then cut off a piece and trim it down to the thickness that you want your goggle to be. So I think I want mine to be about this thick. And then roll it so that way all the edges become smooth. Once you have your circle, we're going to take the round tool and we're going to press into it and create a dent. This is where we're going to stick his eye. So this is what you want to come up with. And then place it on his face to make sure that you like the size. Now we're going to take it off and we're going to cut the little piece from earlier in half and then cut it in half again and just roll them into ovals. These are going to be the bolts on the side of his goggle that secure it to the black strip. So press those on the side, and this is what you should have. Now move that to the side and we're going to get out our white clay. Condition your white clay and roll it into a little ball. You want the ball to be big enough to fit inside the hole of your goggle. Once you know that it's the right size, just like this, and it's not sticking too far above, you want to pop it back out and we're going to create his pupil. So take some brown clay and then take some of your tan clay. You roughly want them to be the same size, and we're going to twist them together to create the effect of the pupil. So this is what you should wind up with. A tan and dark brown clay that's mixed together. And then we're going to take a small piece of black clay that we're going to cut and roll into a little ball. You're also going to take your brown tan mixture and cut that. You want to roll that into a ball and flatten it, and then you're going to take your little black ball, flatten it, make sure it's flattened, and then place it on top. Then we're going to dig out a little bit of the center of the white, so that way the pupil isn't too much raised. Then you can use the ball tool just to create a little bit more of a dent, and then place the pupil inside. So this is what you should have. Now we're going to take the silver goggle and press the eye inside. You can also take a little piece of white clay and press it in the corner to make it look like it has a reflection, which just makes it look more realistic. Then we're going to press it onto his head to make sure we like the way it looks. So for now, let's take our black strip, make sure it's straightened, and then trim it down a little bit. We're going to wrap that around his head and then attach the goggle. So I'm just going to apply a little TLS and then press on the goggle and move the bolts back so that way they're touching his head. So this is how it should look. Now we're going to create the eyelids that go inside the goggle. So roll out a very thin piece of yellow clay and cut it in half. Then we're going to put it on top, right above his eye, but inside that little hole. So this is what it should look like. Now we're going to do the same thing for the bottom eyelid, and just place it into the bottom. And push down the edges, so that way they look like they're going into the goggle. So this is what you should wind up with. You want to create some dents right there on the blue pocket to make it look like some stitches. You also then want to add in a smiley face, so that way your minion looks like he's happy. Now we're going to make his hair, so take your extruder and a tip that looks like that with a bunch of small little holes and put that together. Then we're going to take a piece of our black clay and put it inside, and then push out until we get some strands hanging. Then remove the tip, and we're going to start pressing the long pieces of hair into the top of his head. So grab a few and then just stick them in and position them the way you like. As you can see, my feet fell off here, but you can just stick them back on. And that's how your hair should look so far. Now, optional, you can add in an eye pin if you want him to be a charm. So just cut off a little bit and then stick it in to the top of his head. You then want to bake him according to your package directions, and you can add some glaze to his eye after. This is what you should have as your final product. This concludes part 2. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Leave me any ideas you have as well.